Hi, I'm Dr. Clinton Smith. I'm a chiropractic physician in Breeze, and one of the things that happens in our office on a probably 2 to 3 times a week basis is people come in and they've got allergic rhinitis, or in other words, what you would call a cold. So everybody has a cold every once in a while, and everybody has a certain pattern that they have when they get a cold. So it might start with a little post-nasal drip. You might start to get a little bit of a sore throat, but eventually it always goes into a cough, and then a week to a week and a half later, you're coughing up all this stuff. And in some people that don't have strong immune systems, that will sometimes lead into pneumonia. So primary care physicians don't like prescribing antibiotics for just colds anymore, because our bodies tend to develop a resistance to the antibiotic. And when we really need it for something, we no longer find it as effective as they used to be. So this is why a lot of your primary doctors are avoiding prescribing antibiotics. So what I've found is a kit, and I've been using this kit for about 5 or 6 years here in the office, and I give it to my patients. We have them here, and it's called a Neomed Sinus Rinse. Now, a lot of people have heard of a neti pot. Well, they do have a pot, but I don't like those pots because a few years ago there were some infections that were being passed around from user to user in like families, because you tip it up and it's a little more difficult. This is an actual squeeze bottle that comes with some packets. Now, basically all this is a rinsing of your sinuses, and I'm going to do this for you today. I'm going to show you how this is done. And the reason is because last night I started to notice a little bit of a tickle. Now I used this last night, and this morning that tickle is gone by 80%. And the theory is that if there's a virus, or if there's an allergen, or there's something that's in your nasal cavities, okay, you can rinse that out before the inflammatory process starts, and then sets that chain reaction down the road that in 2 weeks you're still hawking up loogies, as we used to say, and you're using all these expectorants, or you end up at the doctor getting antibiotics because you really need them because you now have an infection. This kit basically allows you, it's the frontline defense to keep yourself from getting a cold or slowing it down or cutting it back. Okay, so this kit comes with a bottle, and it's got a hole in it right here, and basically you unscrew it and you fill it up to here at this line right here with water. Now the water line, there's 2 water lines, okay? There's one here and there's one here. I recommend you always fill it to the top of them, because this would just be for one side of your nose. I would rather see everybody do it both sides, because that flushes them out equally. Now some people think that they'll get sick or it'll make them gag. I'm going to show you how to do this, and you will not get sick and you will not gag. And if you do this when you first start getting a cold and do it 3 to 4 times over 2 days, you will almost virtually stop that cold in its tracks. Better than any medication. There's no side effects. Now if you do too much of it, you might dry out your nasal cavities a little bit. So you only want to do maybe 2 times a day for 2 or 3 days, and then that's it. And you can use it in the fall if you have allergies. You can use it to rinse a lot of that out. Okay? So I have a lot of patients using this. So what I've done is I went ahead and filled up a bottle. Now, this bottle is filled up just to about to the line here, and I've also put it in the microwave. Now you only put it in there for 30 to 40 seconds. And you put a little water in it and you squeeze it on the back of your hand. You don't want it hot, you just want it slightly warm. You want it to feel comfortable going up in through your nose. And then in this kit, there are some packets. Okay, now this is not medicine. This is a neutralizing agent for the water. So if you were to take this regular water like this and squirt it up your nose, it would be like when you went swimming for the first time and water shoots up your nose. It burns. Because the water is either acidic mostly, or there could be some alkalinity to the water, and that causes it to burn. So you put this little packet of, it's almost like a salt solution, okay? And you put it in that fairly warm water, and then you put your finger over and you just shake it up. Now what you need when you're doing this is you need a towel. You should have a towel with you, okay? Because it's going to get just a little bit messy, okay? So the goal is to take this hole and put it right over one of the nasal passages, one of the nose holes. You're going to squirt gently. Now you're going to notice that the water goes up one side and it comes out the other one, and it will come out my mouth as well, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate to you how to do this now, and believe me, this is very simple, okay? So I'm going to put this over my nose and gently squeeze. Take your towel, wipe it off, and that's it. You've done one side. Now you've got enough in there now to do the left side as well. Okay? So you're going to take it and you're going to put it on the other side and squeeze. Keep your mouth open because there will be some come out of your mouth, and you're going to taste a little salty or saline type. And that's it. You've just rinsed out your sinuses, and any of the things that have attracted or that have attached to the lining of your mucosa in your nasal passages will eventually break loose if you keep doing this, and it will stop the inflammatory process, and let's hope that it stops your cold.